Something is majorly wrong with your social life, but you just couldn't put your finger on it yet, besides the fact that you don't get girls. This video will teach you exactly what's holding you back and how you can fix those things. I made this journey myself. I used to be the overthinker who was unable to speak to people, to now doing multiple cold approaches every day. So let's go. So first I need to talk about why you currently can't speak to girls. And there's multiple reasons for it. Let's start with the biggest one. Remember what happened in 2020? The virus gone around and the government's locking up all places that are fun to go to. If you're around 20 like the title said, then during COVID you were about 14, 15 to 16 years old. And guess what? Those are the crucial development years of actually learning how to speak to women. And just coincidentally in those years, all the places you meet women were locked up. So all the kids that came before you had the benefit of naturally learning how to speak to women, because yeah, if you have no idea how to speak to women and the women have no idea how to speak to you, then it's a more conductive learning environment than you trying to figure it out 2 years late after all the women have been in contact with guys before. And by the way, you not being able to speak to women, it is actually not normal. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh wait, but all my friends can't speak to women either. Have you ever had the idea that your friends might be not normal either? Because what you're biologically supposed to do as a 20-year-old is get some bitches. So you're still struggling with this, you're not normal. This is like biologically, there's something that has gone wrong here. Even if your friends tell you, oh, you're creepy, why are you watching videos like this? Bro, fuck these guys. They're probably watching porn, which is the next point, by the way. Maybe the reason you haven't spoken to women yet is because you still jerk your cock. Porn kills your drive to meet new women, and it's actually pretty easy to understand because the fullness of your balls correlates with your desire for women. And if you're like most guys, you watch porn multiple times a week, then you empty your balls multiple times a week, and then when your buddy sees a woman and you see her and you feel like, okay, well, like, I don't really need to speak to her because like our balls are already empty, why like biological desire already fulfilled, nice. Just like a hungry man does not go on a hunt, a sexually satisfied man does not start speaking to women. Not being able to speak to women is not a problem that will solve itself over time. Because, you know, there's like this weird injury you had in your shoulder and you just ignored it for 3 months and then it went away. Or this other problem that you just had to wait for it to go away. Not being able to speak to women is not a problem like that. If you're scared of speaking to women today, then you're going to be scared of speaking to women tomorrow, and you're going to be scared of speaking to women in 10 years. If you don't do anything about this, nothing will change and you will be with zero hopes forever. Let me actually show you in an example what non-action about not being able to speak to girls would lead to. Imagine like there's a guy who's been kind of the nerd in school, but his mom always told him like, yeah, just focus on your career, just focus on building a good life, and eventually the woman will be attracted to you. So he writes good grades in school, no girls are into him. He's thinking like, okay, yeah, well then I just gotta get a better degree. So he starts going into software development. There's no women in software development. And since he's just like a broke uni student, still no women are into him. And he's thinking like, okay, I just need to finish this degree. Now he's 25. He actually got the degree. He has amazing grades. Still no women into him. He's saying, okay, well now I just gotta get a job and then I gotta make a lot of money. And then all the women are going to be into me. And so he gets like a nice position in 3 years. He's 28. He's worked his way up in the position. He's making good racks now. And now finally the women are coming to him, but like not in the way he expected, because he was expecting, yeah man, I'm not gonna have all the hot chicks into me. Now there's like going to be one woman who's also 28 and she's been getting fucked all throughout her 20s, and now she's like looking for the real man to settle down, and then this guy gets some pussy with mileage on. Nice. If you don't do anything about your inability to speak to women, then you are literally going to be this guy. So I hope that shit convinced you to do something about it. How do you actually start speaking to girls then? Because if you're coming from zero experience, if you're coming from being this nerdy guy, it can be kind of complex, but honestly, I'm here to explain this to you. My prescription to the guys who can't speak to women is cold approach. You should learn cold approach if you can't speak to women. And why exactly cold approach? Well, It is the most efficient way of dating. If you're a man and you're like going from point A to point B, cold approach is exactly the right thing. You're not the guy who's trying to build a, the guy who ends up in the friend zone, who's trying to build a connection and be like, oh yeah, and then I chat to her for 3 months every day in the gym, and then eventually I'm going to ask her out and then she's going to reject me because I'm already in the friend zone. No, you're the guy who sees the pretty girl, point A, and you think, okay, I'm gonna ask her, and then you go to point B and you ask her out, and then if she says yes, bam, and if she says no, you're like, okay, whatever. There's no bullshit time waste chatting for 3 months. There's no bullshit time waste on Tinder being like a doom scroller. Like, it's terrible, bro. You don't need to go to the nightclub. You don't need to get drunk and surround yourself with shit people. Literally, if you were to learn cold approach, you could speak to any woman that you ever see if you just feel like it and you think, okay, yeah, I'm going to speak to this girl. And that's just amazing because the guys on Tinder, okay, sure, they might get 1 match a day and then get ghosted by her, but maybe like actually they secure a date on Tinder. If this guy sees a girl he likes more, like a hotter chick in the gym, he can't do anything about it. He's stuck with the one he matched on Tinder. You, with cold approach, you don't have that problem. And then now you're thinking like, oh goddamn, like cold approach, that's a good skill. You're lucky I made a full guide that gets you to your first cold approach, but like not in a creepy pickup artist way. You can check it out in the first link in the description. And there's another reason why cold approach is amazing, because the skills you need in cold approach actually encapsulate the skills you need in dating in general. So if you become good at cold approach, you become good at dating. For example, boldness. If you are very bold, in cold approach, for example, you see a chick and then you go up right away, you just go for what you want. Imagine how that would look on a date. So you see her and you think like, okay, now is a good time to kiss her, but like the normal guys are like, oh no, I'm kind of scared, I need to wait for an obvious signal from her side. The bold guys just go in and surprise, surprise, they actually get to kiss her. Another important dating skill that cold approach encapsulates is polarization, because in just like a few seconds, you will polarize a girl to either be into you or not be into you by cold approaching. Not like the other guys who are speaking to her, who are snapping her, who have the 100-day Snapchat streak with her, who are like trying to build a connection and then eventually try to polarize her 100 days in. You just do that shit right away. And you're not the guy on the chat. You're not wasting time with women that don't even like you in the end. And the final skill that is inside cold approach and also very important for dating is honesty. Honesty about what you like, about what you want to tell to other people, and honesty about what you don't like and what you don't like in other people. Cold approach teaches you how to be honest with strangers, or even with dates, or even once you're in the relationship with your partner. And maybe you've heard all this and now you think like, okay, yeah, I think cold approach is the way, but like women, they're still kind of scary to speak to. Let me just tell you something. Women are just humans, just like you are. And I know, what crazy hot take, yeah, right? But no, honestly, if you were to stop overthinking about, oh fuck, she's a woman, I need to speak to her like in this way and that way, and like all pretty much what the pickup artists do, just relax and think like, okay, yeah, we're like 80% the same. I can just speak to her like I would speak to other men. And now you should be like, oh wait, like, oh, I don't even have to do all this overthinking. No, you don't really have to do it. But I know who you are, and I know that you still want to hear some hands-on cold approaching advice from me, which, well, I'm glad to do that service for you. Let's go. So currently you're in the habit of not speaking to women, and that is a very, very strong habit because you've had it for 20 years maybe, and just recently you've decided to do something about it. Now, since this habit is strong and the new habit of speaking to women is not even there yet or very weak, it is going to feel painful to start the first interactions with women. Like, your brain is just going to be actively thinking like, no, I don't want to do it. It's going to be similar like the feeling you would feel right now if I were to tell you, okay, go downstairs or go call your mom and tell her you're grateful for her. You're probably thinking like, oh no, that's maybe kind of cringe, I don't really want to do this. This is the feeling you need to feel before an interaction with a woman. Otherwise, you're not making any progress because you're staying inside of your comfort zone. Like literally, you need to understand this. You will actively feel like not speaking to this woman, and there's never going to be a moment where you think, okay, now I go up because now it's comfortable. It is going to be uncomfortable, and you need to push through this discomfort. So that's step number one. Tell that voice in your head to shut the fuck up. And then, how do you grab her attention? Literally like this. Hey, hey, like this, okay? Don't just say, hey, hey. Just go like this, because if she's not looking at you, then you're just saying, hey, hey, she's not gonna notice that you're speaking to her because most of the time she has headphones in. Now what you gotta do is like, hey, and snap at her like this. It might feel stupid, but I'm telling you that is super fucking OP, because then you can even grab girls' attentions that are not looking at you, which is most girls, by the way. Okay, now that you have her attention, what do you say now? Because like you need to have an opener, right? No, only pickup artists need an opener. You can literally just say the most retarded things ever. What you can literally do is act like an NPC, grab her attention and tell her, I'm hitting legs today. And literally, she's interested in you. Literally, she's gonna be like, "Oh wow, crazy, yeah. Well, I'm doing abs today," and then bam, you're in the conversation. And if you're thinking, "Nah, this guy's lying," look at this example. Oh, that's a bad start. Hey. Warte, gehen wir ein bisschen von der Seite. Hey.
Hi.
Störst du sozusagen das Chi oder was?
Nee, ich mach Yoga.
Okay. I literally said, "Are you summoning the chi?" And look how she fucking smiled at me. I want you to lose the belief that the words you say in your cold approach matter a lot, because really they don't. All that matters is the intention you have behind those words. So if you're coming from a point of, "Oh fuck, please accept me. Please, I'm trying to say the right words so you accept me," you're going to get rejected. But if you're coming from a point of, "Hey, I like you, do you like me back?" and that is your intention, and whatever you say reflects that intention, then you're going to have great approaches, and even if she rejects you, she's actually going to do that in like a nice way. She's going to be happy, and she's going to tell you, "Oh yeah, keep on doing that. I like the energy you bring." And you can practice these skills, grabbing the attention, giving the helpful tip. You can practice this with men if it's too uncomfortable with women yet. But honestly, maybe you're just coping. Most likely you're coping, and if you think, "Oh no, I can't do this with women yet," bro, push through that fear. Remember the first point I said, you're going to have to feel like actively not doing it. And let me just tell you, the first few cold approaches you do are going to be shit, because you're still going to have this old habit of being the insecure guy around women inside of you, so your intention is going to be kind of fucked up. But just don't get discouraged, bro. Like if you're already expecting to be rejected in your first few approaches, and you already know that's totally normal, then you're thinking, okay, well, it's just a pain period. It's just the things I have to go through until I actually become the good cold approacher. Again, if you want to really get deep into this, I made a full guide to your first cold approach. It's the first link in the description. Otherwise, you can click and watch this video, or subscribe to the channel right here, and I'll see you in the next one.